We're going to start with data types. So data types are super important. You might have been taught this if you've ever taken any kind of intro stats class before. And it's potentially a little boring. You're like, okay, why is anyone actually going to care about this? But the reason we care about this so much is the kind of statistic you're trying to run is determined by what kind of data you have. So this slide here is all text. My next slide is more of a visual. If you're more of a visual learner, you want to see it as like a flow chart. But we have two main kinds of data. We've got categorical data and we've got continuous data. We talked a little bit about this last week, but categorical data is essentially those buckets. You've got different buckets of information. And there's two kinds of categorical data we normally talk about. We've got nominal data, which is a name with no order. This could be something like gender, you're male, female, non-binary. There's no inherent order. Female is not better than male is not better than female. We also have ordinal data. So this is a name with an order. If you've worked with Likert data before, so like strongly disagree to strongly agree, those go in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example. This could be the order you finished a race. First place means you came in first. Second place means you came in second. They are different buckets, but there's an inherent order there, which is a little bit different. For continuous data, we have interval data. So this is data that has meaningful distances between numbers, but there is no true zero, or zero does not mean that there's an absence of the measure. So if I say I had 0 degrees Celsius, it doesn't mean that there's no temperature. It means that the temperature is actually 0. For continuous data, we also have ratio data. This kind of data has meaningful distances between the numbers, and there is a true zero. So you can take any possible value or fraction. So if I said, for example, 0 height, you literally have no height. If I had 0 weight, you literally have no weight. If your reaction time was 0 milliseconds, you did not have a reaction time. It was 0 seconds. 0 actually means something in this case. So I said I've got a graphic as well, if that's easier for folks. So this is in the slides for you if you ever want to come back to it. When we talk about data types, a lot of folks short form this to NOIR, N-O-I-R, for the 4 different kinds of data. The first 2 are categories, the second 2 are continuous. So this is the same information I told you on the previous slide, but now you can see it is pretty graphic. The reason I bring this up, again, as a reminder, the kind of data you have determines which statistic is appropriate. And we can tell SPSS, the software we're learning today, what kind of data we have for each variable we've got. So we can see this here. This is variable view. So last week we talked about the difference between data view and variable view. Variable view, if you click that on your SPSS in the bottom left-hand corner, variable view includes your additional metadata. We can see what kind of data we have in this column that's labeled measure. SPSS distinguishes between categorical data, it's got nominal and ordinal, and continuous data. In SPSS, continuous data is listed as scale. So if you've got any kind of continuous data, you say it's scale data. If it's a category, you have to decipher whether it's nominal, i.e. just separate buckets, your favorite color. Blue is not better than purple is not better than green. The order doesn't matter. Or ordinal data. Heard a ding, but I don't see anyone joining the room, so we'll keep going. So this is super important within SPSS that you set your measure properly. Your measure is going to tell SPSS what kind of data is in each of your columns for data view. If you set this up properly, you should be able to do all the statistics you're trying to do. If you set this up incorrectly, SPSS might let you do something you're not supposed to do, or it might not let you do something that you should be able to do because it thinks you have the wrong data type. So this fake data set, you know it's set up properly because I've done it for you. If you're getting data from somewhere like Statistics Canada, or you've collected your own research data and you're putting it into SPSS for the first time, you just want to double check that the measure is set properly before you do any analyses.